Hi, Leo. Here's some advice or guidance for you, however you want to look at it, for the next 7 days. Whoa. Oakman, Penelope, Dreamweaver. Let's get one more. So you've seen the wisdom in the situation you've had with someone that was there to inspire you. Which is why these cards are coming up saying that you have already seen and felt the connections, the roots, the history, the union, the family between you two, between you three. Maybe there's more than one person involved, not in a cheating kind of way, in a family kind of way. You see the familial link between you and people. Penelope Dreamweaver is inspiration itself, like the muse, the feeling you get when you're just sitting there and then suddenly you're like, I'm gonna go create this masterpiece, or I'm gonna go and, you know, do a complete makeover, and then whatever it is that you feel inspired to do. So she's covered and surrounded by this inspiration light. There's all these spheres around her, little fairies and fireflies, and if you want to get real matrixy about it, it's all your different fractals. You're the multitude of you and all the possibilities of what you could be doing, and you see the connections between all of it. You have the fiery sword and the green woman. The truth of someone's self-imposed limitations, and not in a bad way, like somebody would keep a straight face when they want to smile. Someone who doesn't make that painting when they kind of want to make the painting. Someone who knows that those roots have to connect to something, and they have to go through dirt to something, and the entire growth of life is an actual beautiful tapestry waiting to be woven by the hands of somebody who can make things happen. Because all of this inspiration and wisdom and learning and feeling and the legacy of these beings and this light that is emitting and moving forward can all go into nothingness and just be there into, you know, capped off somewhere, limited, made docile, broken in. Look. This dude right here, the little one, looks like the older or the younger version of the Oakman. So some part of you have been pushing yourself down and making yourself overburdened with a lot of responsibility that has taken its toll on you physically. And all you've wanted to do was go back to the days when you were young at heart and you were free and you had this person in your life who made you feel fun and happy, who inspired you to be a better person and to take action towards a better way of life. Look at this. Even if you turn this upside down, it looks like an angel. You turn it this way and it's the sword. And all of that is like this planet, this wisdom, this sphere of you. And there's that sphere again right there. There's someone in your life that you know. You just know. I don't know what it is, you know. I don't feel it from this. What this feels like to me, as the reader reading it to you, like trying to decipher it, it feels like regrets of old age, honestly. Like, coulda, shoulda, woulda when you were younger, but so much time has gone by now that you don't even consider it, and you know you've lost something because you didn't let it grow naturally. Something happened and you needed to contain it. And after a while, you know, the elephants, if they're kept in a circus and if they're bound, you know, they're like, they bind their leg to a stick. I don't know if you've heard this before or not. Even when an elephant grows up, it won't break itself free of that stick, because growing up it was told that, you know, or negative reinforcement was done to tell the elephant that it can't. The stick was too strong for it, the rope was too thick, and by the time it grew up, it kept thinking, oh, it's too thick, it's too hard, I can't do it. Like, it's too unbreakable, it's too much of a burden. It's just an issue that can't be resolved. You know, it's the dead part of the tree. Like, it's just a part of the story that doesn't need to be gone into. But you're letting it affect you, which means you're not really embodying this. And sometimes when I'm looking at this the other way, do you see it? How this is also a mouth right here? So you're split. The 4 and the 7 is an 11, number of union. The 2 and the 3 is a number, it adds up to 5. Chaos, you know, moving things apart and change and all of that unevenness. So something happened that changed the foundations and the way the roots were growing in your life. And you're being given an opportunity this week to really make things better for yourself. And whoever it is that was in your life before, just look at how faded this looks. Like, it's just a memory. But not an old one like in the other cards, which are darker backgrounds and it's like dry, creaking, you know, twigs. This is more recent. Maybe, if I just go by the 23, maybe 2 to 3 years. And it's really weighed heavy on you. You really cared about somebody that you had a lot of fun with. You're really inspired by this person and the energy that you two both brought together, feminine and masculine, but not in a overbearing, you know, eternal kind of way. Like, you danced well together. If you were two musical instruments, you harmonized really well. And part of you wants something that I can't see and I can't feel it. It's so strange. It's like being blocked off from me, as if someone is holding, you know, something like that, and I'm going, there's something there, like, I can see that there, and the universe is like, or you're like, nope, no you don't need, nope. And I'm all, but I can see it. Something has the Leo heartbroken. I can see it in his eyes. And then you're all like, no, I'm fine. See? It's like the Cancerian reading I just did. A facade to hide the fact that you're really heartbroken about something. A deep, true connection with someone. The Oakman and the Green Woman, it's like you guys were the perfect match. Inspiration and action, truth, legal matters. Ugh. energy, negative energy being transmuted to positive, being completely dispersed, cords being cut, or cords being reformed. Because the oak man is there to reconnect the roots that were cut from the past that you had really cared about. But it was limited and constricted to a certain way of being back then. And now the universe is coming back and inspiring the entire situation again with new information to create new roots, to create a better version of reality, of existence for you, a better, like if you're planting a forest, you learned to not plant a monoculture forest. You don't just plant a forest of one tree, you plant a forest of multiple trees. You don't just plant a cornfield. Plant corn with pumpkins and gourds, and you do the Three Sisters thing. You don't just plant cilantro, you plant cilantro and parsley and like strawberries or something. That way everything is connected. It's all a family of some sort. It's all working together. Ugh, this again. Gee, Leo. You really, really, really regret doing something. And you have negative self-talk about yourself and the things that happen, and you've surrounded yourself with an energy that keeps repeating at you that really gloom and its doom, lack of self-worth, toxic behavior, negative self-talk, gossip, malicious intent, like complete self-sabotage in a way where you're just burning bridges. I don't get it. Because I'm not reading these cards as things that have happened or things that will happen. This is the energy that is like here for you for the next 7 days. The results of your manifestations, the results of thoughts of what's happening right now from the time you're reading this. And I'm seeing the backstory like a sphere, like a movie being played out in a hologram in front of me. Your lower vibratory thoughts, actions, and feelings, your thoughts and feelings, and then they get into actions, were from a place of immaturity. You were limiting your own capacity to be better than you were, and you made a lot of decisions based on that lower version of yourself, which caused a lot of damage in your life and alienated a lot of people away from you. And it's had you being alone for quite a while now, remembering the union with the 11 that you had. And the universe is coming in to say, hey, you can still fix this and turn things around in a better way, but you need to be truthful and take decisive action. You can't limit yourself anymore. And I don't mean that in a negative way or in a way where it's like, go ape shit on something. No. Don't pretend to be stupid. Don't pretend to be less than or ugly or sick or broken. Like, don't pretend to be not okay. Just so you can sit in the background and observe life happening. Because you're afraid to be your best self, so you're keeping, like, the female aspect of you is keeping the male aspect of you in check. And it's driving the male aspect of you batty. Because if the oak men are the men and the green woman is the one containing the men, and another universal force, feminine force, is coming in to inspire the men to be themselves and use the sword to break free of their negative manifestations and to move forward with the lessons learned, then Leos, you guys are about to experience what it's like to lead in a different way. You have to start leading with a more authentic expression, because unity, that's why. You're no better and you're no worse than anybody else. So any gossip and negative self-talk is absolutely just a sign of lesser intelligence, for lack of a better way of putting it. Because think about it. If you're truly intelligent as a soul, And you know that we are all connected with unity. We are all part of the grand life tapestry, the entire everything of everything. We're a piece of that. We're a part of that. And if you allow what you've done and the words you think to yourself and the words of what other people think about you and how it makes you feel to affect, again, the 11. 5 plus 6 is an 11. 4 plus 7 is an 11. 10, 10, 4 and 5. And then 1, which is 10 again. So at least 3 times you've gone through the same cycle, the same karmic lesson, where you've limited yourself. You've been inauthentic to the expression of you. If you were 100% awesome, you were only showing people that you're 50% awesome. For so long that people now see you as that half-assed Leo. You're not Mufasa to them, you're like Golem leading the show, which isn't okay for you. Because you only feel this way and attracted this way because you're missing something that you really... I mean, look at him. Does this look like somebody, a card that would come out to describe somebody who's happy with the decisions they've made in life? Really? Just you looking at this card, okay? With just your instinct and intuition, does this look like somebody who's happy with what they've done in life? Does this look like somebody who's telling the truth? Does this look like somebody or an aspect of yourself that was doing something to intentionally hurt you? Does this look like you were being hurt by this person? If this card came out to describe a situation in life, is it describing a positive or negative experience? It's kind of like containing a husky. And you took that containment as that, an imposition on your freedom, which made you feel completely unworthy of everything. And you're like, I can't, blah, blah, I don't even want to, I hate everything, wah, wah, wah. Now the universe is coming in to say, okay, Leo, you ready to cut the shit and move on with your life in a beneficial way, which actually would repeat your story, but in a higher octave of living? Because these waves come and go. Even when they go up there, they keep going. There is no part of this that is disconnected from any other part of it. It is all connected, and it is eternal and infinite. See? So what you thought was over is simply just beginning. It was just forming roots. Now it's starting to bloom and blossom. Do you see what I'm showing you? This is about an energy, and you're in the Leo collective that are watching, of having made mistakes in the past and limited yourself until you were on a path in life that doesn't fit right for you. But you didn't realize that instead of growing apart from the people that you loved and cared about, you've actually just been setting roots down into the ground so that your life and your tree of life can start. And bottom of the deck, courage. Is this about romance for this Leo? Because I can't see this part of it. It's like a censor mark over what this is about. I'm guessing it's about love. I'm not really guessing. I mean, it's the most logical kind of thing because there's no emotional cards here other than negative emotions, which usually show up in like after you haven't been laid for 10 years. You're like, ah, and then you just need a piece of chocolate and you're fine. But in between eating that piece of chocolate and being fine, you've told yourself 1,000 different stories of why you're not worth being with. There's no emotion cards here other than negative. There's no physical cards here other than what was and what could be. The mental cards here, the mind, are inspiration and moving forward. And then this universal force of connection between everything. You're avoiding the present moment. Surprise, surprise. But you're not gonna anymore. Because your roots have grown enough to where now life is showing you a different way of being. What did I say earlier? Mufasa. I love that. Anyway, here. Geo the Slow. Yeah. Roots again. Roots take a long time to grow. They need sunlight. They need darkness. And they need loose ends tied up sometimes. And that way they can express themselves clearly. Singer of Intuition upside down, but you already know that. So now that this soulless, the sun card, not soulless, like less than, no soul, but we're just going to call this the sun. And it's the number 13, which is the rebel, the, quote unquote bad luck sign, but it's also the number of the goddess. Unity, soulless, and Geo the Slow. And then the Death card, which basically tells you in a very simple way that that which was in you that caused you to make decisions that you regretted has been brought to light, and that now you're being asked to have courage to move forward in life, knowing that your roots are established and you have a strong foundation to grow into your best self. This card being here nullifies the soul shrinker and the lack of self-worth card. Leo, if this is about somebody you were with before and it's separated and you've made all the regrets and blah blah blah, just go talk to the person. But take your time. Don't rush things. But if Geo the Slow is already in this reading, that means you haven't rushed things at all, ever. Because there's a lot of slow movement in this reading. A lot of slow movement. But all of the slow movement goes from the seedling to not only a planet and a sun and a solar system, but the entire totality itself. Oh, starseed. I wonder if the starseed is watching this. What a strange energy. I'm really feeling my way through this, and I'm looking at the reverse side of this, not the reverse, upside down like this, but as in a moment right now, which means this had a history, this has a history, this has a history, so on and so on. And they're moving forward. And either spiraling, moving, whatever. There's movement. Slow, but there's movement. What a strange energy. It's like you're deluding yourself with inspiring yourself negatively to avoid being the bright shining star that you are. And then when the truth comes in and you're like, yeah, I see it, I know what I gotta do, but I don't wanna because blah blah blah, and then you go slowly back to drinking. Because Geo the Slow, in the book it says he's always drinking out of the the singer of Healing's waters or something like that. It's funny, he's basically drunk on life and love and the universe, and he just takes everything super slow. And what's the point in rushing? Have you seen all the drinks? And then it's not taking you anywhere other than this bubbly mess. And it's all because you're avoiding this history of the oak man who's like super sad about something and wants to reconnect with somebody else. And you would reconnect with them if you took steps in communicating with them. But you're avoiding communication with the he of the fiery sword, with issues that have no relevance in actual life. Made up excuses. The Soul Shrinker and this Luminous Doom in the same reading as this and he of the fiery sword means you're basically bullshitting yourself to not move forward with someone in life. You're just being your own worst enemy. Because right after that is unity and this soulless. Unconditional everything. Like, you're literally cradled in the womb of the universe. If you look closely, it looks like there's a white robed figure. And like, the mind of God kind of thing. And then, boom. Bright and shining morning star. All shrouded up. Leo, what I'm sensing, if what I'm sensing is accurate, and I really would love to know, then it absolutely benefits you beyond what I can explain to you in words, and beyond what you can comprehend with your thoughts and emotions right now. It absolutely is imperative, important, extra special, the only exception type of thing that is happening this week for you, where you can make up for your regret of the past. Wow, you are being given an opportunity that not many people get. Don't mess it up. And I'm not going to apologize to you if I'm being rough to you or any of that stuff, because you, look at this. You're being given an opportunity to go from regretful you to doing something your future ancient self, and I do mean that in the pun way too, past and future versions of you, they will thank you for. Do something your bloodline will thank you for, which is be good to yourself this week. If there is an aspect of you that is regretful of something, fix it. If you've wronged someone, go and apologize. All you have to do is show up and put your hand up and say, I'm sorry, I love you, I'm here. I mean, what else do you need there to be said? You say, I love you. If there was something wrong, you say, I'm sorry, or how are you if nothing's wrong. Then you say, I'm here. I saw this mentioned in the recent Twin Flame Revolution channel. where they were saying the divine masculine is going through something and they needed the divine feminine to send them good energy. And that we should all visualize each other meeting up and putting our hands on each other's hearts and saying, I love you, I'm sorry, and I'm here. And it reminds me of that Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Leo, please, 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 and I don't want to be involved in your karma or the energetic repercussions of your actions, however you want to word it. But the person you would be in the future, if you do the good, kind thing this week and make peace with something, your future self will be a way better individual person than you could ever imagine, because that heaviness on your heart wouldn't be there anymore. That ugly truth you're hiding behind your back, that everybody sees but you think they don't see. If you just let peace and unity and the universe just bring everything to an empathic, empathy-filled, nothing lacking in love situation, that there's love in every aspect of the situation for you. There is no part of it that is lacking love. And first you have to go and make the decision to communicate about that which you didn't communicate before. You undermined yourself, basically. I mean, can you just imagine the life people would be living if the negative self-talk and lack of self-worth were complete unity and enlightenment, and everybody taking things one breath at a time? Without these two self-sabotaging cards, this reading tells you that you're going to be inspired this week with an energy to go towards someone in your life that you had a lot of fun with, and life happened and you went in separate directions, and now you're being brought back together again to go things together slowly, because one chapter of things ended and now a new one is beginning to tie up other loose ends. Yeah, 7 days. Within the next 24 hours you're going to see this in your life. By the 4th day, you're going to have action already taken. And by the 7th day, you will both be sitting pretty. You really will. And I'm really happy for you. This is well beyond a relationship. This is more like souls coming together to forgive scars that they've caused each other. And it's been a long time. Like, this is deep pain. Like the rings of a tree. This is at least, it's almost as if the story you've played out with this person in your life has been the same story that's played out within your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and everybody before them for at least 11 generations. 13 generations, actually. The soul being the son, the father, 13. Yeah, yikes. And you're being allowed to clear it out of your DNA. Do it, Leo. Go talk to these people, or this person, or this aspect of yourself. Don't take negative things into your bloodline with you, especially when you can clear it up here. I really hope you let me know how this plays out for you, because this is really interesting and I would love to know how the story unfolds. But that's always dependent on your free will and your freedom, my dear. I almost called you my Lear. Prince Lear from The Last Unicorn. Aw. I wonder who's watching this video. Huh. How weird. What a strange feeling. Okay, I'm gonna go because that was a really weird. Just Leo, I really hope that you do something your future self thanks you for. Really, what I just saw and felt, it's like the best family reunion happening 10 years from now, where these massive two legacies come together that had been warring for so long, and then they have like great grandchildren between them. It's beautiful. You would miss out on that experience if you don't make peace with this person in your life that you weren't authentic to, that you were actually really mean to with the soul shrinker, or they were really mean to you. Either way, it was manifestations of things that happened that were being manifested at a lower vibratory rate. So if it was a birthday party that would have happened because of the state of life you and this person had at the birthday party, instead was an argument between, a bunch of people. If you were supposed to have like roses growing, instead they, it was a fake rose, it was a plastic rose. It was a lesser manifestation of something that could be really beautiful. And what it feels like is that you should really make peace within it for you and for this person, because it's not just about you, it's about the people you're connected to as well. You don't know this yet, but there's strands that are connected to you, to people neither of you have met yet. And when you two are together and you two come together with these new people in your life, you're going to affect these new people in a way that they wouldn't be affected had you and this person not made peace in the next 7 days. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like serendipity. You and this person being together have to be together for the universe to bring this other group of people or person in the future to where they need to be easier, in a more effortless way, because you and this person will set these things up to benefit the next people. Get it? I hope you do. It's like you have to invent the wheel so that the next person can invent the car. So if you're doing something in this relationship and you go and forgive somebody, then in your lesson, the 99th monkey or the 100th monkey thing of you doing this act of forgiveness triggers an entire other thing. Please let me know how this plays out for you. I love you. Bye.